Hello students, today we will learn about working with queries. The database of any organization may contain huge amount of data. Moreover, it may consist of multiple tables. When the number of records in a table increases, it becomes an uphill task for any user to extract specific records from that table. Microsoft Access provides us a solution for this problem through queries. A query is a database object that helps us to retrieve and view information from one or more database tables that meet a specific condition or criteria which you define. The information retrieved on the basis of specified criteria in the query is stored in a separate table called the query table. Students note that a select query retrieves data from one or more tables and displays the record set in a data sheet. You can also use a select query to group data and to calculate sum, count, average, and other types of total. Let's first understand what is a query. A query is like a simple question that we ask to find a specific information from the database. Similarly, in Access, when you build a query, you are defining specific search conditions. You can use queries to view, change, summarize, and analyze specific data in different ways. In our daily life, we form several types of queries to get specific information. For example, which students are scoring above 85% marks? Which students live in Sector 4, Chandigarh? And so on. We can make quick decisions depending on that criteria. Let us understand the concept of queries with the help of given example. In students table, we have records of class 8th as well as class 9th students. Suppose we want to extract the records of students of class 8th and class 9th who reside in Panchkula and Chandigarh. We can find this with the help of queries. Queries are made on tables and the results are displayed in the form of a table, that is, in a group of rows and columns with a set of records that match the given condition. Microsoft Access provides various types of queries: select, parameter, cross-tab, action, and SQL, structured query language, query. Students note a parameter query is a type of select query that prompts you for input before it runs. The query then uses your input as criteria that controls the results. For example, you can design it to prompt for 2 dates. Access will then retrieve all data with values between the specified 2 dates. Let us now discuss about setting a relationship between tables. Relationships are links that associate a field in one table with the same field in another table. In Access, you store data in multiple tables. To bring that information together, you need to define relationships between the tables. Once you have defined relationship between the tables, data from both the tables can be used by query, form, or report. A relationship works by matching a field with the same name in both tables. In most cases, these matching fields are the primary key from one table that uniquely identifies each record in a table and a foreign key in the other table. A foreign key is a value in one table that must match the primary key of another table. To create a relationship, make 2 tables, one with the name students table that holds information about students such as their roll number, first name, class, address, and city, and the other with the name marks table that holds the information about the student's roll number, percentage, and grade. Open one of them in Data Sheet view. Click on the Database Tools tab. Select the Relationships button from the Relationships group. The Show Table window appears. Select the required table and click on the Add button. The selected table will appear as a small window in the Relationships window. Likewise, add another tables to the Relationships window. Click on the Close button to close the Show Table dialog box. You can activate the Queries tab if your relationships are based on queries, or activate Both tab if relationships are based on both the tables and queries. Drag the primary key of the parent table, example students table, and drop it over the same field in the child's table, example marks table. The cursor changes to an arrow and the Edit Relationships dialog box appears. Click on the Create button. Access creates the relationship between the tables. This helps in joining two tables to form a large table. Thus, it reduces data redundancy and data inconsistency. A line linking the two tables will appear indicating that both have been linked on the basis of the linked field. Click on the Save button on the Quick Access toolbar to save the relationship. Open the linked table in Datasheet view. The plus symbol before the records indicate that this record is linked with another table. Let me share a tip with you now. After a relationship has been created between two tables, you must delete the relationship before you make modifications to the field on which relationship is based. To delete a relationship, click the line that connects the tables and press the Delete key. Students let us know more that a cross-tab query uses row headings and column headings so that you can see your data in terms of two categories at once. Alright students, now we will discuss about creating a query. Access provides two ways to create select queries, by using Query Wizard and Query Design. Creating a query in Design view. Design view gives us more control over a query. Open the database and click on Create tab on the ribbon. Now click on the Query Design command in the Queries group. The Show Table dialog box is displayed from which you can select tables or queries to add to the query design. Select the table from the Show Table dialog box on which you would like to run a query. Click on the Add button and then click on the Close button. The selected table will appear as a small window in the upper section of the query design, that is Object Relationship pane. Students let us know more. To reopen the Show Table dialog box, click on the Show Table button on the Design tab in the Relationships group. The selected query table displays a list of fields. Double-click on the field names you would like to add in the query. They will be added to the design grid in the bottom part of the screen. You can also add fields to the query by dragging them from the field list to the design grid. The design grid is similar to a spreadsheet with columns representing each field in the query. Let us understand the design grid. Field. The first row of the design grid displays the selected field names from the table. Table. Beneath each field name is the name of the existing table. Show. The show row displays a check mark. The fields with check marks display the information when the query is being run. To hide the field during runtime, deselect the check mark by clicking it. Sort. This property is used to filter the data either in an ascending or descending order. It is optional. Criteria. It contains the condition on the basis of which the records will be filtered in the query output. Or. This property is used to set multiple criteria in a query. Let me share an interesting fact with you. To add all the fields present in a field list to the design grid, double-click on the top bar of the table's field list and drag it to the design grid. Alright, now let's find out how to specify simple criteria. We specify criteria in the criteria row of the design grid. Specify the criteria value in the criteria row and the data will be filtered accordingly in the query output. Let us understand it with the help of given example. To view the roll numbers and names of students of class 8th, double-click on the required fields in the table. Move the cursor to the criteria row and type the criteria 8 in class field column. Click on the sort property in the first name column and set it in the ascending order. Click on the close button of query window to save the query. A dialog box will appear asking you to save changes to the design of query 1. Click on the Yes button to save the changes. The Save As dialog box will appear. Specify the query name and click OK. The query name will appear in the navigation pane. Make sure you have selected All Access Objects option from the drop-down menu in the navigation pane. Double-click on the query name to view the query output. The query result will be displayed in the query's datasheet view, which looks like a table. Okay, let me give you an interesting tip. To view the query output without saving, click on Run button in the Results group on the Design tab. Let us take a quick view. To zoom in the current field in the datasheet view, press Shift plus F2. Similarly, we can create relationships between two or more tables on the common fields and retrieve the required information using query. Let us understand how to specify multiple criteria. To specify multiple criteria in a query, follow these steps. Suppose you want to see the records of class 8 as well as class 9. Move the cursor to the criteria row and type the condition equals to 8 in class field. Type the second condition equals to 9 in or row of the same column. Save the query and click on the Close button. Now run the query by clicking the Run command on the Query Tools Design tab and observe the output. Now we will discuss what are forms. In general, a form is a piece of paper on which a user fills required information in specific fields. Likewise, in Microsoft Access 2010, forms work quite similar to it. It allows you to add and update data in one record at a time in a table. Although Access provides a data sheet view, which is a convenient way for entering data, but it is not an appropriate tool for every data entry situation. Sometimes when you work with different users and do not want to expose to the inner working of Access database, you may choose to use Access forms to create a better user-friendly interface. A form can have a different name from a table, yet a form manipulates the same information and data to the corresponding table. If you change a record in a form, it will be reflected in a table also. Data can be inserted, updated and deleted from a table by using a form object. Access provides three main views in which a form is displayed. Form view is used to enter, edit and view data. Design view is used to adjust the design of your form. It gives you a more detailed view of the structure of a form, such as header, detail and footer sections. Layout view. It is used to change the appearance and size of various controls of a form. Let us learn how to create a form. To create a form, select a table or a query in the navigation pane that you want to use as the data source for the form. Click on the Create tab on the ribbon. Select the Form option in the Forms group. A new form is created and opens in Layout view, in which you can change the appearance of a form. You will notice that three new tabs, Design, Arrange and Format, appear in the ribbon. If you want to edit or enter data in the form, click on the Home tab or go to View button or go to Form View. Use the Record navigation bar to move through the records in the form. After finishing the data entry, save your work by clicking on the Save option in the Quick Access toolbar or the Save option in the File tab. You will observe that the form object gets added in the navigation pane. Formatting a form. You can change the appearance of the form by using various options available on the Design and Format tab. Using Design tab, you can add logo and title to your form by making the use of logo and title options present on the header or footer group in the Design tab. Using Format tab, you can format the font, size, color and alignment of labels, add a background image, change the color of the shapes, etc. using the various options present on the Format tab. Okay students, now let us learn about reports. A report is an effective way to organize and summarize data for viewing or printing. A report can be created exactly in the same way as we have created a form. The only change is that after selecting Create tab, click on Report in the Reports group. Access creates a report and places all fields of the selected table in the report. 4 new tabs appear on the ribbon: Design, Arrange, Format and Page Setup. Click on the Save option on the Quick Access toolbar. The report object gets added in the navigation pane. Formatting a report. Similar to the form, you can format a report using the options present on the Design and Format tabs. Printing a report. To print a report, select the File tab and then click either on the Print option or select the Print Preview View option. This view displays how the report will appear on a page. It also allows you to choose the page orientation, page setup, etc. If needed, modify the page size, margin width and page orientation using the related commands on the ribbon. Click on the Print option. The Print dialog box will appear. Set any desired print option, then click OK. Let us quickly glance through the key points discussed in this chapter. A query is a database object that helps us to retrieve and view information from one or more database tables that meet a specific condition or criteria which you define. Microsoft Access provides various types of queries: select, parameter, crosstab, action and SQL query. Relationships are links that associate a field in one table with the same field in another table. Access provides 2 ways to create select queries by using Query Wizard and Query Design. Criteria property contains the condition on the basis of which the records will be filtered in the query output. A form is a piece of paper on which a user fills required information in specific fields. A report is an effective way to organize and summarize data for viewing or printing.